Hey everyone. Hello. It's JT, the founder of Work It Daily. Welcome to my kickoff to the 28-day career reinvention challenge. We actually had some audio and technical difficulties on YouTube yesterday, so I'm re-recording for those of you that go, what is she doing here? But we wanted to have a nice clean recording for everybody who can't attend live or is going to be doing this course at a later date. So welcome everyone. So the first lesson to the Career Reinvention Challenge has been dropped. And just a quick reminder how this works over the 28 days. On the first day, I drop a course, an exercise that you complete, and you have 7 days to complete that exercise. What happens for the next 2 through 5 days, right? 4 days after we drop the course, I'm going to be dropping a video, an inspirational video that you should look at every day to help you with the exercise that's been assigned to you. And then you have 2 days off. So if you're doing this, we encourage people start on a Monday, you get the first exercise lesson, and then Tuesday through Friday, you get the inspirational videos to help you complete the lesson. And then we gave you Saturday and Sunday off. So 2 days off after that. For those of you that need to play catch up, sometimes life gets away from you. So that's how you do this over 28 days, okay? 5 days on, 2 days off, or 2 catch up days. And the first exercise that dropped, if you haven't already checked it out, is all about your career narrative. So for those of you watching this on our YouTube channel that are not subscribers or members of our program at Work It Daily, this isn't going to make a lot of sense to you because these materials are all inside our private community and our program. And so if you listen to this and you get inspired, maybe you want to come join us, check it out, and you can get instant access to this course and participate with us. For those of you that are active members and participating in this challenge, by now you've probably looked at the exercise and it's telling you to write out your career narrative. So I wanted to go through some questions that get asked about this. This is something that I've been teaching for a while. It's something I'm extremely passionate about. If you watch the pre-work videos, you know that this is my baby. I have put so much into this. And I truly believe that this course is going to be a game changer for a lot of people, but only if you're really willing to commit fully to this process. It's not going to work for you if you don't work it daily, just like the name of our company. So I need to preface that. But if you're all in with me, if you're 200%, if you've carved out the time and put it on your calendar and you're committing to this for 28 days, you're going to get results. You're going to be a different person when this is over. Absolutely, positively. But with that in mind, let me answer a few questions that might be roadblocks to you getting started here. So the first and obvious question is, JT, what is a career narrative? How did I get mine? What is this thing? So this comes from the fact that, now over 15 years as a career therapist, I call myself a career therapist because it's really what I am. People come to me and they say, oh, JT, you're a career coach. Let me tell you my story. So that's why I've recently embraced the term career therapist, career therapy. Everybody needs it. And everyone tells me their story because they feel their story is truly unique. And it is unique. It's unique to you. It is this story, this narrative that plays in your head. And it goes on and on and on, whether you realize it or not. When somebody asks you things like, what do you do? And how did you get into this career? And, why do you like your job? This huge major motion picture, yes, it's an epic novel, it's a major motion picture, is playing in your head. That is your career narrative. So where did you get this thing? Well, it started from the first moment that you started to have thoughts around experiences in your life that have shaped your career. Any kind of experience that you've had as a human being, you have processed and decided that that experience was either beneficial or not beneficial to your career, that it played a role in your career. Now, you've had millions upon millions of experiences from the moment you were born. Not all of them were relevant to your career, but you have handpicked in your reality and chosen experiences and chose to interpret those experiences as related to where your career is today. That is what creates your career narrative. And as rational human beings, in order to make sense of the world and justify what has happened to us and where we are, we have to look at these experiences and we come up with meaning for them. We assign meaning to them. And that's where this story gets really interesting. Because if we all had perfectly happy, positive career narratives, none of you would be here. None of you would be trying a career reinvention challenge, right? So I already know that while your career narrative is purely unique to you, this thing has got some twists and turns in it, right? It's got some drama. All good major motion pictures have drama. And I know for a fact that your career narrative or career story, whatever you want to call it, has drama. So what we need to do is get that out of your head and onto a piece of paper or into a computer document. And that is the first step in the process. So important that you do this, because until you do that, this narrative is going to sit on autopilot. It's just going to keep playing and playing and playing, which means it is limiting you. When we talk about roadblocks in your career, in your life, you hear a lot of people say that it's all up here. And, maybe you go, yeah, I get it. It's all up here. Well, no, I'm going to prove it to you. I am an engineer by degree. I am a logic girl. I like process. I like proof. I like structure. I like ways of getting things done. And that is why this challenge is so important to me, and why the first step is for you to essentially inventory your career by looking at this career narrative in its fullest form. So there is a method to the madness, and it's very science-based, as you're going to see. Okay. So that in mind, why is this the first step? So I mentioned that you've got to inventory your career narrative. Well, getting it out of your head and onto paper or into a document is going to be quite cathartic for you. You are going to probably, when it's truly done, when you're done this exercise completely, you'll have an incredibly deep night's sleep because you have let this out of your head. And it's been playing over and over again on autopilot and going in a million directions. You're going to kind of herd the cats, so to speak. Get this thing organized and in sequential order. Give it a rhythm. Give it a process. Give it a storyline. And that's really important. So that's why it's the first step in the process. Now, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do with that, because that's next week's exercise. I can't tell you that, which leads to the next question that I get a lot here, which is, why aren't there any questions, JT, to guide me on this? Why aren't you asking me a bunch of questions to help me figure out my narrative? I can't do that. That's not how this works. If I was to give you a bunch of questions about your narrative, I would essentially be shaping your story. And what I'm looking for is the raw truth. You're not going to put this out in the world. This isn't going to get publicly displayed to anybody. Nobody's going to see the story, folks, only you. But I need it to be raw. I need it to be real. And the only way that's going to happen is if you write it authentically in your voice with no guidance, no direction. People will say to me, well, how far back do I go, JT? And my answer is as far back as you need to go. If something pops in your head and it's related to your career narrative, put it down on paper. I will tell you that initially, it probably will read like a hot mess. I find that people that do this best just sit down one day and start writing. And they don't try to organize their thoughts. They just, everything that pops up. And, they'll read back and go, why did I started 10 years ago. And then I went to 3 years ago. Then I went back to when I was 2 years old. Then I went here. Then I went there. It's not going to make any sense because it hasn't been making any sense in your brain. This story has been unfinished and unprocessed. So it's just kind of spitting itself out there. So the first start to this is to write the narrative and turn it into that epic novel, that major motion picture, by giving it some structure. But you got to get everything out of your head. So who knows how far back you'll go? Who knows what experiences you'll include in it and choose to make relative to the storyline? That's all up to you. So that leads to the next question, which is, well, how do I know when I'm done this assignment, JT? All you type A personalities, all of you that were raised to get good grades, right? You're really frustrated with me right now because the teacher, the assignment from the career therapist is way too unstructured for you. You're not liking it, right? Well, let me tell you how you know when it's done. When you've got nothing left to say. That's it. It's that simple. So how does that work? Well, you're probably going to sit down and you're going to write this thing out and you're going to get tired of it and you're going to put it away. And maybe you're going to sleep on it. You're going to get up the next day and read it. Go, no, that's not what I meant to say. And then a bunch of other ideas are going to come out. And then you're going to put it away. You're going to go back to it again. You're going to read it and go, oh, it's still not done. I forgot about this. I forgot about that. Or this isn't relative, but this is. And you're going to keep writing and you're going to keep writing and you're going to keep writing. And eventually you're going to get to a point and go, I'm done. This is done. I can't think about it anymore. This is me. This is my story. My brain is empty. That's when you know you're done. Okay. Now, here's the thing. This career narrative has a shelf life. It is your current career narrative. If I had asked you to do this exercise 5 years ago, the story would have been entirely different. If and when I ask you to write this 5 years from now, it'll be entirely different. This career narrative is the story that's in your brain right now. And so just understand that. It is what it is right now. And you're going to do it until there's nothing left in your head right now. And then we're going to start to work with it. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Are you excited? I hope you're excited. This is game changing. No joke. But it's deep work, obviously. You're sitting here going, oh, JT, that's a lot of work. I know it is. I know it's work. But do you care about your career? Do you want to make change in your career? Do you finally want to get unstuck and unblocked? Do you want to feel better? Then let's do this. I'm not asking you to spend 8 hours a day. I've asked you to carve out 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day. I'm asking you to work it daily. And here's why this is so important that you do this work. It's me, your career therapist, against the world. And what do I mean by the world? Well, let's see. It's all that negative self-talk in your head. It's all those people around you that are negative and naysayers that bring you down. It's all the people that you're insecure around. It's the media. It's the news. It's the world. Everything out there is telling you, oh, this. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this right now. And me, there's me. And I'm here as your cheerleader saying, you can do this because I know you can. You have everything that you need to reinvent your career right in here. And you're going to learn that. Now, I've brought in some reinforcements. I mentioned that in addition to me sharing an exercise with you at the beginning of the week, I'm also giving you supplemental videos. I spent months researching and finding the most interesting people out there saying very important things in new and different ways. People of all ages, of all backgrounds. I intentionally created the most diverse set of videos, support materials for you, because I didn't need to reinvent the wheel. You didn't need to hear from me every day. You need to hear from lots of different people so that you know that this is working, that this is true, so that you are getting a new set of ideas and experiences to help you with this lesson. And that's what I need you to commit to. You don't need anything else but yourself and a commitment to this work. And if you work it daily and you really take in these videos and do these exercises, you will get results. Okay? All right. So what other questions did I get? How is this going to help me? That was an interesting question. Well, as I've mentioned in previous videos leading up to this, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. One of the things that you're going to learn a lot more about in this is about neuroplasticity. This idea that, we've been told, oh, we only get so many brain cells and your brain is fully developed by a certain age is a bunch of baloney. We have plenty of scientific research right now to show that is not true. Right now, you just watching this video is changing your brain. It's changing your brain structure. So I have built a program with the help of the amazing team here to change your brain structure every single day. We are going to literally change things in there so that you can look at things in new ways, open new doors, and find happiness. That's how this is going to help you. Career reinvention. If you could have reinvented yourself by now, you would have. You're on a loop in here. You've got stuff going on here that needs to be changed. And that's how this is going to help you, which leads me to a really important thing that I want to share with you about why you should be doing something like this. This is self-care. You've been working in your job for too long. You need to work on your career. You need to work on yourself. And you should look at this as a gift. I've said this before. I'll say it again. This is a gift you are giving yourself, not a chore, not a challenge, a true gift that you're giving yourself. And it's important that you give yourself that gift. And let me tell you why. Michael A. Singer wrote this book called The Untethered Soul. It is an incredible book. I tell people about the book with the caution that you need to be ready to read this book, because once you read this book, you're going to learn stuff about yourself that you can never undo. You can't unsee it. You can't change it. And you're going to have to pursue it. So you need to be prepared to read The Untethered Soul. You need to be prepared to want to do the work because you'll just have to as soon as you read it. So don't read it unless you're ready. But Michael Singer says, would you ever get behind the wheel or get in the car with somebody who's had zero training driving a car and allow them to just put you on the Autobahn highway? Would you do that? Would any of us do that? Will we take a loved one, a child of ours, somebody we care about, put them behind the wheel and say, go get on the highway? No, absolutely not. And why would we do that? Why wouldn't we do it? It's because it's suicide. It's dangerous. We would never put someone we love in harm's way. Agreed? Okay. So now imagine this. How many of you were trained in school to think about your career? How many of you took classes and logged hours in grade school and high school and college and beyond to help you become the best possible career developer you could be for yourself. Raise your hand if you did that. I don't think anybody's got their hands raised out there. Maybe you read a book or two, you did something, but have you truly been trained in how to use this? Have you? We always hear this, oh, we only use 2% of our brain, whatever. We actually use our whole brain, believe it or not. Our brain is a muscle. It's 2% of our body weight, but it burns 25% of our calories every day. So this thing's on fire. We use it, but we don't use it properly. And we aren't trained to use it effectively, especially when it comes to things like navigating our career in times where it really matters. Career is mental to us. Think about it. When people ask you, what do? You get this panic. We all want to answer that in a way that makes us feel proud, makes us feel satisfied and successful and happy. What we do for work, it's a legit thing that we spend 1/3 of our lives doing. It does affect our happiness. It is part of our self-identity. People that tell you it isn't, they're lying. It's part of who we are. We've got to get up and work. So knowing how to mentally navigate that and bring your best self to your career, who's taught you how to do that? Nobody. And along the way, you've been given a lot of bad advice. Society has pressured you to look at it in a lot of ways that are not effective, that are not serving you. And that is exactly why over 70% of people are not happy in their careers, because they're on a treadmill mentally, and they've been fed a lot of bad information, and they have all the wrong things going on up here. So in the same way that if we want to be healthy physically, we exercise and we eat well and we take care of ourselves and we stay up on what's good for us and what's bad for us, we need to do the same thing for our brain, especially when it comes to your career and how you approach it. That is what this course is going to do for you. That is what I am committing to help you with. And so the last question that comes up, and then I'm going to see if there's any questions from the audience. So hang on a second, team. But the last question that comes up is, JT, is this going to be a bunch of that positive psychology stuff? I always get the naysayers. They start to listen to this and they go, oh, this sounds like it's going to get hokey on me. And the answer is no, not at all. Am I a positive person? Sure. I'm a glasses half full person. I believe in the power of positive psychology. There's plenty of research to back it up. I'm really passionate about the impact thinking positively has on our health. There are plenty of studies that show that. So yeah, but that's not what this is going to be about. What this is going to be about is conditioning you to think differently, is getting you to change your brain. That's all this is about. Now, if you end up more positive when it's over, awesome. Great byproduct. I'm looking forward to it. But never lose sight of the fact that this thing that I'm going to take you through, this is science. This is engineering. This is brain hacking. This is me getting you to a different place through conditioning, through habits. We're going to break down some bad habits, some bad thought processes, and we're going to build some new ones. And we're going to get them strong. We're going to get them reinforced, because I know that's what you need. You need these habits. You need these mental muscles to be flexed in order for you to make this happen. And that is not new age hooey. That is science. That is engineering. That is logic. So are you ready to do it with me? Are you ready to put in the work and make it happen? This can be fun. I'm telling you, this can be game changing. It's all in the way you're going to look at this and approach this. Give yourself a gift. I am giving myself the gift of working on this every day, JT. And if I do that, I will get results. That's what I want to hear you say in your brain. Because if you can't do that, then you're not going to get the results. And I don't want you blaming this, the process, or us, because I'm going to be honest, it won't be our fault. It'll be hard on you right now. It'll be yours. You got to do it. You got to commit. But you can. I know that you can. Okay? All right. I'm going to stop there. See if there's any questions. So if you have a question, it helps if you put the word question in all caps and then the question, and I'll look through it. But while I'm doing that, I just want to look through a little bit of the folks here. D. Farah says, career narrative is equally difficult and insightful. I'm really excited to see where I am at the end. Yes. Okay. So D. Ferris, this is the attitude that I want. Thank you. Yeah, it's difficult, but it's insightful. Come on. Why do we watch major motion pictures? Why do we watch read epic novels? Because they hold our attention. You've got an amazing story going on in your head. Let's get it out. Let's let it out. Okay. And then we're going to do something with it. We're going to make it better. We're going to make it better. Okay. Lee Dixon says, I love it. Career therapy. That's what it is. And, it's so funny because for years when people worked with me, they'd say, oh, JT, I don't want anybody to know I'm working with a career coach. It's kind of like, I don't want anybody to know that, I need career therapy. Come on, folks. Career therapy is not a sign of weakness. It is a path to greatness. It is a path to greatness. And anybody that wants results in their lives gets help. We cannot do it alone. If we could, we would have by now. So I'm glad that you see that. I am fully embracing that. I am proud to be a career therapist because I see the results people get and I know the difference that it makes in their lives, right? So get behind it. Give yourself a little self-love here. You all deserve career therapy. You all deserve it. I have a career therapist. Yes, I do. I have my own business coach. You all deserve a coach as well. That's why we created Work It Daily, because pro athletes and executives shouldn't be the only people that can get this help. And that's why we're trying to change things. Okay. Let's see. Sinjin says, in a dead-end job at the moment, and I have allowed it. I'm ready for a big challenge. Career therapy is a great term. Thank you. And so for those of you, again, that are watching this going, I'm not a member. Where do I get this stuff? Feel free to check it out over at Work It Daily. When you join our program, when you sign up for a monthly subscription, you immediately get access to the 28-day career challenge, as well as all of our other courses. And in addition to that, you're part of a private community. So for those of you that don't know, we have a private Slack channel that you only get an invitation to when you are a paid member of our program. But then you're in there with our thousands of other members, and there's all these channels inside there where you can talk about different things like the challenge, as well as get help from our career coaches. So all of our career coaches on staff are trained by me. And you're able to direct message them with any private questions you have. Maybe there's something that you feel like, I don't want this out in the Slack. I don't want to talk about it with other people. That's what we're here for. And the beautiful part about our Slack community is it's not public. You know, your bosses and managers can't find this stuff. It's not out there for people to search like they can, you know, out in the social media universe. It's a private and safe place for you to have conversations with peers who are dealing with very similar things, as well as super private. You can work one-on-one with our career coaches. So if you haven't checked us out already, you really should. Very, very good. And Susie says, I want to thank you for the videos. I'm a new grad, just got my first real job with your help. Oh, that's great to hear. Shout out to you, Susie. Way to go. But it was all you. You were the one that took the videos and applied the techniques, so you get all the credit. Yes, very good. All right, so it looks like I've answered all the questions in there. I am so thrilled that everyone stopped by. I'm really, really excited that you are all participating in the 28-day Career Reinvention Challenge with me. I hope that these answered your initial questions about the challenge, about the first exercise. You know what to do. Get in there, get working on exercise number 1, participate in the community inside the Slack channel, ask questions of the career coaches if you have questions inside there. Let's work on this together, but really do it. And then I will be back with you again next week, where we will reveal the next exercise. And I'll also start to tell you what you're going to do with this incredible, incredible story, this narrative that you have finally gotten out of your head and onto paper, this awesome, awesome story. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for participating with me. I'm so grateful right now. You probably can feel it in my energy, but I'm beyond thrilled to be finally teaching this course to the world. And I just can't wait. I can't wait to hear all the results. Okay. All right, everyone. I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.